On this episode of Sloan's Wilderness Expeditions, we find ourselves in southeast Colorado, in the Picket Canyonlands area of Comanche National Grasslands, in search of old settlements, petroglyphs, and North America's largest dinosaur track site. Hey fellow expeditionists, we are in southeast Colorado in the Comanche National Grasslands.
And today we're hiking to North America's largest dinosaur track sites.
The hike to the dinosaur track site starts from the Withers Canyon Trailhead, which is about a 30-mile drive south of La Junta, Colorado, into the Comanche National Grasslands. This hike will take us down 250 feet from the ridgetop into the primitive canyons and Purgatory River Valley, where we'll follow the picket wire trail for nearly 6 miles, keeping an eye out specifically for Native American petroglyphs and the ruins of a 19th century settlement. Looks like we have reached the bottom of the canyon. From here on out, the hike should be pretty easy. Of course, you notice here, ancient ruins, archaeological resources, fossils, and historical remnants in the vicinity of this are fragile and irreplaceable. They are protected. Do not destroy your American heritage. And that's what we're here to see, isn't it? We want to see this stuff. We do not collect, we do not destroy. We simply want to take pictures.
Yep.
Well, we're not too deep into this hike yet, and we've already come across some old ruins here. So let's go check this out. When this territory became part of the United States after the Mexican-American War in 1846, many people from Mexico migrated north to settle. One of those immigrant groups was led by Damasio Lopez, who had 11 families that settled here in the Canyonlands. Most of the ruins, like this one, were from that original settlement. Fascinating. Imagine living down in this. I don't know, I'd be down for living a secluded life in a place like this. Where do you think that is, Caden?
I think it might be the well.
Yeah, I think you're right. That's an old well, isn't it? Yeah, it's pretty darn deep.
I don't fall in there, I can't see where it ends.
Yeah, I'm not climbing down anything. I think we just found a little ring neck. I stepped right over it, didn't even notice. Caden pointed it out, it curled up as I stepped over. No harm, he's just waiting for us to leave. My botanist back here is checking out some cool flowers. It's one of the reasons we do these kind of hikes. I'm still checking out rocks looking for the petroglyphs. Straight down there, we got our first good view of the Purgatory River. Cool landscape, huh, bud?
The way he is.
Yeah.
It's all this flat land and then bam, cliffs. And then then there's also more flat land and bam, shrubs.
And just think, 60-some million years ago, this would have been like a brackish, swampy lake teeming with dinosaurs. I believe we had found the old mission. This is the remains of the Dolores Mission and Cemetery. That original settlement that I mentioned earlier was predominantly Catholic. So in 1898, the Denver Diocese and the local community built this church for their place of worship. $1895. What a rough life it must have been, you know?
Dealing with all these ants.
Ants, yeah. That would have been an issue, I guess. Look at that, the flowers growing inside this. That's amazing.
It is. It's almost like a planting bed.
Very cool stonework. So here at the Dolores Mission, this is where the Jeep Trail terminates, because if you come from the south side of this canyon, you can actually take Jeeps up through here. And I feel like hiking this is way more personal. On Saturdays in the months of May, June, September, and October, Picket Wire Guided Auto Tours offers authorized motorized access to the Canyonlands, though tour participants must provide their own four-wheel drive high-clearance vehicle for the tour. So I'm at the rocks that are just off to the side and behind the Dolores Mission, because Caden was zooming in with his camera on these rocks up here, and he found some petroglyphs. Native Americans thrived here for thousands of years, with lots of game, reliable water, and diverse plant resources in a semi-arid climate that offered favorable living conditions for these prehistoric people. The rock art found here in Picket Wire Canyon dates between 375 to 4,500 years old. All right, check out this rock. The rock itself is pretty picturesque. Then we get down here. We definitely got us some petroglyphs scratched in there. Yeah, I'm willing to bet that almost all of these rocks that have that black discoloration on them, if you explored through here, you would just find tons and tons of, petroglyphs like that. And it really just kind of shines the light on what life has been here long before there were, homesteaders and settlers, before there was ever a mission. There was the Native Americans in the area making a life off of this land. Well, we knew this was going to be a historic hike here. So what we have here is a dinosaur shoulder blade from an Apatosaurus. Now, it is not the real thing. This is a cast, a replica. But this is the kind of stuff that they would have dug up here at one time. Colorado is home to the dinosaur bone wars from, I think it was like the 1870s, it may have started in. So that shoulder blade is a replica from an actual skeleton found here in the Picket Wire Canyonlands back in 2008. So while that may not be the real deal and just a cast, it still shows you what was here, what roamed here once upon a time. We found some modern ruins here. Oh wait, that's just an outhouse. But this is the lead up to the Dinosaur Tracks site. All right, have you learned anything from the interpretive sign?
Guess they've discovered over 1,300 dinosaur footprints here.
That's a few, huh? Does it say they're all Apatosaurus or anything?
Some might have been from allosaurus.
Oh, nice. Apatosaurus and allosaurus. Imagine this area 150 million years ago. The climate would have been tropical, with a lush conifer forest and huge ferns, and even sequoia trees. At that time, the river valley was part of a large, shallow lake. Along its muddy shoreline, dinosaurs such as Apatosaurus and Allosaurus roamed, leaving their footprints behind. These muddy flats were then baked hard by the sun, buried and turned to stone, frozen in time. This track site was discovered in the 1930s and extends nearly a quarter of a mile with over 1,300 individual footprints. So Caden, in the original Jurassic Park, that famous scene where Dr. Alan Grant stands up in the Jeep and he sees all of these dinosaurs out there that are roaming in herds, and he's just amazed because all of his theories are proven correct about how, I think his words were, look, they move in herds. They do move in herds. Well, that theory started right here. The track sites here at this largest North American track site is where they come up with that theory, because of all of the parallel track sites where the animals would have been moving in herds. So that's pretty fascinating, huh?
It is.
So right away, I already see tracks. See the 3 toes right here? Very well defined, that plant in one of the toes. So well preserved, look at that. Yeah, those big 3-toed ones we seen back there was probably the allosaurus, the meat eaters. And then these giant ones over here, that's your brontosaurus. Or I mean, Apatosaurus. Look how deep they're sunk in. Now, we've seen a lot of dinosaur tracks in some other places, obviously not to this extent. I think most of the Apatosaurus tracks we've seen, though, were in the reverse of this. Instead of seeing from the top, you can see them from underneath. It's really cool to see right there. So deep that water stays in them. Yep, there we have another meat eater probably right there. So you got to figure that the allosauruses come out here and hunted some of the Apatosauruses. Massive prints. And here you can see I'm walking between the parallel tracks, where you know that they moved in herds. Track site to the canyon cliff tops. Really cool place. Not what you normally think of for a grassland. Well, the one downside to coming here in the spring is there are spring rains. There was a lot of rain last week, and you see the results here. Purgatory River is up, and we don't really feel safe trying to traverse this. It's moving really fast. It's definitely deeper than normal. So we're not going to be able to get over to the larger track site. We know it's there. We've seen pictures. We can kind of see it from eyeballing it from over here. So not the best situation, but you know, I'd rather be safe and see what we can see. While we got to see the largest single area of tracks, there are more tracks on the other side of the river that we were just not going to be able to see due to the rushing waters of the Purgatory River. So this right here is the area that they recommend you to cross. And all this turbulence right here, well, that's the stones you would normally be trying to cross. So yeah, not the best scenario if you want to go see track site, but at least we got to see the major ones. You can see part of the track site across the river there. It's just more of what we already seen over here, just longer. Some of it's actually underwater right now. The river's definitely been flooded this past week.
Although we can't cross the river to see the other track site, we've seen how this track site on our side works. And the other track site is pretty much like that, but larger with more footprints. And the track site over here is just amazing.
All right, cool experience getting down to North America's largest dinosaur track site. We didn't get to cross the river like we had hoped to see the rest of them, but it's just more of the same of what we did see. So we know what it is, and it's just an amazing thing to see. Beautiful hike. We still got 5.7 miles to go back, and I don't know, I'm gonna still keep my eyes out for more petroglyphs, I know that. All right, heading back, and I finally found the Petroglyph Rock that I had been looking for. We were coming from the wrong direction earlier. Now you can see the snake-like scratchings right there. Telltale signs of some cool petroglyphs. And it just keeps going around on this side. Yes, indeed. That one I've seen in other people's pictures and such, so I knew it was here somewhere. Just hadn't found it till now. Anything on the back side? Looks like there is. Some more scratches, squigglies. Looks like a lot of this one is slowly eroded away. One thing I've always kind of been curious about when it comes to petroglyphs and pictograms is who actually made them. We know as Native Americans, but would it be the adults, you know, the warriors? You know, sometimes we'll have some of the young warriors that may have etched their first hunt into the rocks. And then again, what if it's the youth? What if this is just the scribblings of some of the young ones that they had, you know, and that's how they occupied their time? We don't know.
From Native American history to homesteaders history to ancient dinosaur history, this place has it all, with the bonus of plenty of cliff sides, lots of wildflowers that we haven't seen before. Just very cool stuff.
What was your favorite?
We just discovering all these wildflowers that we haven't seen before, because most of the other times we've been in Colorado have been either during the summer or winter.
Right. Never come here at this time of year, so that's a bonus. And this is a new to us place, and it's always fun to explore a new place for the first time, huh?
It is.
Yeah.
I'm also just searching for the petroglyphs.
Oh yeah, searching for the petroglyphs. Got to find those. I knew they existed, but it was a little more difficult to find than I anticipated, huh?
For sure.
Some of them were right in front of our face and we just missed them, but in the end, we got them, didn't we?
We got them.
Yep. Great hike. I'm glad we can finally check this off of our list. But we have more things to do. So, till next time, peace out.